The enhanced games are coming in 2026. Have you heard about this? We've got an official event, an Olympic-style event in Vegas next year. And here's the rule. There aren't any rules, apparently. You want to pump up with steroids? You want some human growth hormone? Get out the syringes, baby, because we're not going to hold you back. Let's see what human beings can do when they're jacked to the gills on horse steroids and see what happens. You want to see people run fast? You want to see people swim fast? You want to see people jump a long way? Well, then we're going to have to shoot some stuff into them. Donald Trump Jr. is involved in this venture. I was surprised to learn this morning. The enhanced games, it's allowed, if not encouraged, to use PEDs, is what they're saying. Organizers saying that they hope it will remove the stigma of using these substances and promote safer ways to push the limits of human performance. Well, that's interesting. And there are Olympians that are on board. Australian James Magnuson, who medaled in the 2012 and 2016 Olympics as a swimmer, is already in. He's like, let's fucking do this. I'm ready to take anything that's going to make me cut through that water faster. The International Olympic Committee, less impressed, issuing a statement saying, if you want to destroy any concept of fair play and fair competition in sport, this would be a good way to do it. So the enhanced games. It's like, didn't Saturday Night Live have some bit about this years ago? If they didn't, they should have. I once tested positive for steroids just from looking at one of my own tweets. True story. Take a look at that, man. Juan Gonzalez, Canseco, Rafael Palmeiro, and Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge is in the Hall of Fame, and Pudge is a follower of Super 70 Sports, so we're just going to leave Pudge out of this. Canseco, proud, admitted cheater. Gonzalez, suspected cheater. Pudge Rodriguez, by some people, suspected as well, although I love you, Pudge. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. And then Rafael, I did not take steroids, Palmeiro, but I did take Viagra, Palmeiro. I remember when the best athletic treatment was a beer. You know? Mac Davis from North Dallas 40 right there. It's a well-known fact in the 70s that the effectiveness of any athletic treatment was enhanced at least 200% by pounding a can of beer. It needed to be a can of beer, too. If it didn't go when you opened it, the effectiveness of the athletic therapeutic treatments were compromised.
Look at the motor on that thing. Look at the motor on that thing, and we see it full here again, strategically placed. Not sure where he's wearing underwear, but good Lord, are they mixing flour in that thing? What's going on? Industrial size motor.
I don't know. It looks like Mom might be making a cake once he gets his fucking arm off of that thing. Tim, let's begin with the enhanced games. What do you make of this? I thought when I first heard about it, okay, this is just a real crackpot. This is almost like a what the fuck Ron type story.
Totally.
Then I see Donald Trump Jr. is involved. And they're using a statement from Donald Trump that they've put together on their website. I'm talking about President Trump. That they're trying to use to promote this thing, obviously leveraging Don Jr.'s connections. What do you make of a 2026 alternative to the Olympics where people are just jacked up on the juice and seeing what they can do?
This is incredibly well thought out. So we first heard some of this back in January or February, but there was a legit press conference in Las Vegas yesterday. Aaron D'Souza, who is the organizer of this thing. And Ricky, we're talking tens of millions of dollars at stake here. This isn't just some fly-by-night, come get a couple $100,000. And he's serious. I mean, his quotes are really forward thinking. If you believe them, we're here to move humanity forward. The old rules held back
You're into
athletes.
it.
I am, man,
Listen
because
to you. You're into this.
look, if we all know that the field it was not a level playing field for how many years, right? And Ben Johnson got around the doping and Lance Armstrong. I'm like, go down the list. The testing always seemed to be 3 years behind the science. So shit, these guys are saying, hey, let's have a modern day gladiator games, get as jacked up as you want, get it, and real money, dude. The swimmer you mentioned has already I think he's already grabbed 250K for, I think, doing the 50-meter swim in the pool quicker than anybody. And there are major purses. These former Olympians are saying literally, I can make as much money in this one event than I did 10 years previous. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking this could be real. I wish there were, because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's combat sports in it yet. I know they ruled out gymnastics and other things, but just track and field so far, I believe.
Yeah, I'm
Swimming.
not sure, dude.
Yep, swimming, track and field.
Traditional Olympic style sports. But you were telling me moments before we went on the air, and I said, okay, let's hold this and have the conversation with the people, which is what we do on this program. Cocaine is not allowed. There still are rules. It's not completely the Wild West here.
It's amazing. It's so amazing, dude. What a time to be alive. You're absolutely right. The fact that they have to make a distinction, that it's not going to be a free-for-all and a full-blown bonanza. They're going to have to be some approved substances.
This is where they lost me.
Sorry to say,
LT. This is where they lost me. If this is
LT,
truly
no
the
cocaine.
enhanced games, you should be able to fucking take anything that you want. There should be some guy out there fucking tweaking in the starting blocks of the fucking 100 meters. Just
doing his face off.
Just let's fucking do this.
Let's ready to rumble! Oh my God, I'm getting fired up just thinking about it.
The enhanced games. Listen, I don't want to watch the enhanced games and then have some guy's gold medal taken away from him because he was doing coke in the hotel the night before. That doesn't make any sense to me. Seriously, that ruins the whole credibility of this.
But they're not going to test.
Be enhanced.
They're not going to post-test, though. That's the other thing. They're not going to post-test.
Well, why are they even bothering to put a disclaimer of any kind on it?
Some of it is
that's harshing in my buzz here.
Right. Some of it is draconian a little bit in that, they are going to do some clinical trials for some of these drugs on these athletes. I believe it's going to be, again, there's going to be all sorts of crazy Frankenstein shit going on. But look, man, I honestly...
It needs to be completely irresponsible. The whole thing is they should just be like, we don't know, just fucking show up and let's fucking do it.
Here's the big vat of amphetamines. Grab some reds, grab some blues, and let's see who wins.
Yeah, it's like whatever you do it's your fucking business. We're just here to hand out awards and entertain people.
Listen, one year from this weekend, though.
System.
I don't love the Memorial Day plug. The Patriot in me says Memorial Day should be, maybe pick another day. But look, man, this was sort of the same vibe that UFC had 15 years ago. What is this barbarian shit? What's going on? Why are we doing that? It's not a sport.
Human cockfighting.
Yeah. Listen, I'm also jazzed, Ricky. For the first time, we had a Le Monde, a French newspaper link in our rundown today, because not everybody's opposed to it. Some people are saying, hey, you know what? You're right. It's 2025. The 25 years of testing has been bullshit in the Olympics. To your point, how many people win a medal and then it's taken away, months later? Let's go for it. Let's have a somewhat organized cast, no cocaine. Why not?
Who are the fucking Olympics to get all high and mighty about this when we've got women over there getting the shit beat out of them by XY chromosome people, and the Olympics are going to say, well, hey, wait a minute, this is going to fuck up the integrity of athletic competition. Excuse me? After what we saw in Paris?
Incredible. No, absolutely incredible.
With Khalif and all of that. I mean,
yes.
Really, this has more credibility than letting men beat up women.
Look,
I can certainly tell you that.
Yeah, I don't expect the Olympics to follow suit, but it's a natural progression. There's such a science behind all this stuff now. Why not do it in somewhat of a controlled, safe environment? We all, again, like I don't want to disparage every athlete. I'm sure there's some who've done it cleanly, but good Lord, let's make it happen, right? Like, why not? Give it a whirl, see how it goes. They want to do other events.
Well,
I know they're going to get to other sports too. And look, there's real money. People are going to do it.
well, Tim, I've got some suggestions. There's some athletes that we could send. We could send our finest.
I
If we're
love
going to
it.
do
I
this,
love
the
it.
United States should be represented at the highest levels possible. So, one idea might be this.
What do we got first here? A little roulette, little roulette. Oh,
There you go. How about this? Let's just send the fucking goat if we're going to do it. Okay, he's been waiting his entire life for this moment.
he
It's
looks
been a
good,
slow
man.
train coming.
He looks
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he looks good. He looks
Jose,
great because he's been
Jose,
pumping himself full of artificial preservatives for 40 years.
Jose, don't
His
you wish you
nuts are
accepted
the
that
size
invite
of
to join us on the
marbles.
show? Look
Yeah.
at the veins.
I wouldn't have had to said that your nuts were the size of marbles if you'd come on the show, Jose. I'm nice to people who come on the show. I don't know. Are there others that we could send? How about this? I don't even think Sammy Sosa is.
Oh, you did Sammy
is he
wrong.
even a citizen?
Look at the
Well-
skin flap. What's up with this the droopy skin? Skin. Did he
Well,
have a
you
breast
know,
reduction
he's not-
surgery?
None of us are 25 anymore, Tim. Shit starts to happen when you get old. But McGuire's still looking pretty good. You're not seeing any of that loose skin on Big Mac there. So,
Yeah.
Tim, this gave us an idea. You know, we haven't done a Gimme 5 in a little while. And so we decided today we're going to do a Gimme 5, our biggest cheaters in the history of sports. So each one of us are going to contribute 5 notorious cheaters today. We're not going to celebrate them.
I like it. Let's do it.
Wow. I didn't see you going Laban there, but I'm glad you did. Tim, do you want to go first? How do we
No,
want
I
to
think
do
you
this?
should. I think you should lead the way. I think you should lead the way, Ricky. I'm gonna take your cue here.
All
I
right.
like it. So, notorious cheaters based on the enhanced games, which I would argue they probably not cheating, but I like it. Let's do it.
All right. So, and this is any type of cheating, not just performance enhancement. All right. No, my first one, number 5, I've got Danny Almonte. You remember this kid? He showed up at the Little League. He drove his own car to the Little League World Series and then just started striking everybody out. Motherfucker
Dominant
was
lefty.
27, had 2
Yeah.
children.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
everybody
Sports
was
Illustrated
excited.
that turned it up.
Oh, remember that? We were already
Yeah.
thinking, we were like, it's 6 years, this motherfucker's going to get drafted. He's going to be Dwight Gooden when he's 18 years old. Turns out that, he was practically a grown man. No, he was 14. But you know what? Probably if we had gone looking for a birth certificate, Kelly Leak was probably a little bit old for that league that he was in as well. I don't want to tarnish his home run records, which still stand in Southern California, but Kelly Leak looked to me to be just a little bit older than 12 years old. But Danny Almonte makes my list. How about Rosie Ruiz, who won the
So great.
women's Boston Marathon in 1980, I believe it was. And then they determined later that her time was so ridiculous, there was no way that it was possible. Nobody knew who she was. It turns out that she went and got on the subway at one point, Tim. It just advanced herself through the race a little
And
bit.
showed up, no sweat, didn't look like she had done any jogging. Sort of, hey, here I am, surprise. She
Yeah.
pulled it
I
off,
don't
though.
think
She pulled it
thought
off for
the
a bit.
plan. Yeah, there for a few minutes, she was accepting accolades as the greatest upset champion that the world has ever known. But
I think she has the
anyway,
crown. I think
was
she has the
found out.
crown and the medal on that in that picture, Ricky. I think she's got the crown and the medal there.
Look at her; she's wearing the Greek flower crown or whatever that fuck it is, like
Yeah,
Julius Caesar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
Look at
good
that.
Lord.
And
Good
then
for her.
she
That's
had
a
taken
good
it away. I
imagination in 1980. Yeah.
Look at those cops. They look like the cops from a fucking sitcom.
It's incredible.
These guys. Look at those. That might be Tony La Russa on the left there, from what I can get. All
Who
right,
else you
number
got?
3. I'm giving number 3 to an entire team. The 2017 Houston Astros. Banging trash cans,
Sorry, I don't mean to
getting
be banging.
signals.
Losers.
Right there. Yeah. Altuve. I'm slapping an asterisk on that World Series championship. They knew what was coming when they were playing at home. And other teams allegedly did it as well. I mean, we've kind of pushed that one under the rug. We still talk about McGuire and Sosa and Canseco. We're doing it. But this is less than 10 years ago, and nobody ever talks about it anymore. You know?
So highly orchestrated, so sophisticated, use of video, that monitor, then the trash can.
Yeah.
Like, holy smokes.
Wasn't Alex Cora banned from baseball for a while before he was reinstated, and now he's the manager of the Red Sox, and we just act like whatever.
Yeah,
and everybody's still so worried about Pete Rose, and we're still so worried about Barry Bonds. But, apparently we're just going to sort of erase it from history.
Listen, a lot of people, I think even your friend Pete, who I believe is the Rangers fan, he's got the asterisks on their World Series. He does not have the Astros being now I know it wasn't the same year, right? It was was it 18? But look, man, massive cheating scandal. Good for you for calling it out. Right. And we're banning all these other people for far less egregious stuff.
That 2017 one, I don't recognize it. Number 2 on my list, Barry Bonds. And it's not that Barry Bonds it's not that he's more of a cheater than a lot of other people who cheated, because he's not, but he was already so fucking good that when he started cheating, he turned himself into like a superhero. That's the problem. And, people say to me, who is the best hitter that ever lived? And my answer has always been, I always thought for most of my life, it's Babe Ruth and Ted Williams. I would argue that Ted Williams is the greatest hitter who ever lived. Having said that, if we don't judge, if this is like the enhanced games and we don't care what you did, Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter that's ever walked the earth. Because the version of Barry Bonds from the early 2000s, that guy was unbelievable. He might see one good pitch a night. He might get one good pitch to hit a night, and more often than not, he blasted it.
Listen, I'm just glad he got
player.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad he got serious enough. He got serious enough, right? The Pirates, he didn't give a shit, right? He was just sort of he got serious enough to take the juice and wanted to compete.
No. Well, he got pissed off. I think that's an inaccurate characterization. I think he cared, but
he didn't put in the extra work.
He watched. You really are a proponent of the enhanced games. You might,
my God,
participate
bring it on
yourself.
Bring it on. I'm ready. I got veins popping out of my head. That's why I keep sitting back.
He watched McGuire and Sosa have the home run race in 1998 and just get blown by the media day after day after day. The fans were going crazy for it. And he's sitting there and he's watching it. And he's like, I'm fucking better than these two guys put together. And I got to sit here and hear about how great they are. I know what they're doing. Bro, you don't even want to see me if I do something. And so he decided to do something, and he went out there, and he basically became a Marvel Avenger. 73 home runs in 2001, and if you go and you look at it in 2002, he had an even better year. His on-base percentage in 2002 was over 600.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, all the walks. And listen, I'm with you.
He got walked 232 times one year, I believe.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Nobody was fucking. Buck Showalter walked him with the bases loaded.
Yeah. No, I'm not taking anything away from him. He still had to hit a ball. He was just so unlikable, so evasive. I think he's
Yeah,
more likable now. And I would just
he
say in terms
is.
of the enhanced games, the only shitty thing for me is someone like McGuire, right, had the rookie record for home runs at 48 or 49 when he was a toothpick. So he
Yeah,
does the creatine and whatever else and he jacks up. But so I think there's
yeah,
still some very good foundation for these guys. Clearly Bonds is a world-class hitter. I'm not dicking on him there, but you just can't
yeah.
get that
He's
good that late in life.
Yeah, I mean, he was a multi-time MVP before he ever even touched the stuff. And, honestly, I am a put them in the Hall of Fame if the play on the field merits it. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Put it on his plaque if you want to. I'm not a big Barry Bonds fan. I do agree with you that he has become more likable in retirement. I certainly appreciate his incredible skills. When people say, well, steroids aren't going to make you hit 70 homers, well, no fucking shit, Sherlock. They're not. But when you're capable of doing great things to begin with, they certainly can give you an edge and make you better. So Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, I just feel bad for Hank Aaron
Yeah.
because there's no way he gets to 755 without doing that. And then lastly, the biggest cheater of all time, and fuck this guy, all-time captain of the all phonies, Lance Armstrong, 7-time Tour de France champion, had them all taken away from him after we found out that he was just doping like crazy the entire time while, lying to everybody, and everybody's wearing their fucking jelly bracelets and whatever because the guy's a cancer survivor, which, I'm glad that he beat the cancer and everything, but then he goes out and, achieves all of this completely fraudulently while everybody is constantly talking about what an incredible inspiration he is. And he, Greg LeMond, who won, I believe, 3 times, the second most decorated American cyclist, he hates Lance Armstrong. Like Lance Armstrong, as I understand it, made some sort of threatening comments, or what Greg LeMond perceived as threatening comments to him. Lance Armstrong, if you really start looking into it, there's a lot of evidence to suggest beyond just the doping that guy's a real scumbag.
Yeah, for sure. I think the way he did collect the flowers and sympathy and sort of out front, totally with you. I mean, look, still a cancer survivor, right? Did he ever try saying that some of it was the cancer drugs? No. Legal steroids, maybe. Yeah, it was the years in which he did it. And obviously, riding in the peloton, taking the lead there, obviously a bit of a team win, but
Fraud.
I'm with you. Yeah, fraud. I got you. I
Guy's a
got you.
fraud. All
All
right,
right, so
before we turn it over to you, I do have one honorable,
got an honorable mention. What do you
and
got?
I do mean honorable mention. Gaylord Perry. I want to give a shout out to Gaylord Perry, who for some reason it just hits different, his cheating. A guy who was doctoring baseballs for years and years and years. Vaseline was his chosen thing. KY jelly. He would load up the ball. Everybody knew it. He would throw rosin balls where he would just put a lot of rosin on the ball, and then when he would throw it, it would sort of just come out of a puff of talcum powder. But anybody who is willing to write a book about how they're actively cheating, and then you play another 10 years in the major leagues after that, it's called Confessions of a Cheater, me and the Spitter. So there is that. And then here's a Gaylord Perry tweet for you, Tim, just as a little bonus. The good news, you found a jar of Vaseline signed by Gaylord Perry. The bad news, you found it on your wife's nightstand and a third of it is missing. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, Tim. Well, thank you.
I like
All
it.
right, Tim.
I
With
like
that
it.
being said, they can't all be Hey Jude, can they?
I got
All
you,
right,
bud.
Tim.
I got you.
Give me 5.
I'll give you 5. All right, so I'll make it quick here. I'm going to stick with baseball. We had the Sammy Sosa, steroid AI, but I'm going to go Sammy Sosa and the corked bat. Don't forget that whole nonsense that, he just grabbed the batting practice
Oh yeah.
bat. Now, in fairness, according to MLB, who I'm not sure whatever, I wasn't sure. It was an independent auditor from Deloitte Haskins and Touche or whatever it is. They said his other 76 bats were tested fine. I'm calling bullshit. He swung a corked bat. He was suspended a game. So Sammy Sosa on my list of all-time cheaters. Staying in the Midwest.
Just looking for every advantage, Tim. Every
Incredible.
advantage. At least
Incredible.
McGuire didn't cork his fucking bat.
Right.
Pick a lane,
right.
Sammy. He chose
Jesus,
all of
Sammy.
the above when it came to cheating.
Going to stay in the Midwest. Who could forget Jim Harbaugh? The man, the myth, the legend, taking college sign stealing to a whole new level. Boy, I have that AI image next time we do this of him wearing the military grade helmet with binoculars and everything else. But again, when you talk about in-depth, orchestrated, well thought out, super duper plan, maybe he wasn't cheating because he did what he had. Some of his opponents were allowing Stallions on the sideline weeks in advance. So Harbaugh, really, I think. Sorry, Jim, love you, love what you and your family are about, but you make my cheaters list. The lowest of the low, Ricky, for me is what happened with Spain's 2000 Paralympic basketball team. I think you're familiar with this.
I don't know. I don't know about this one now. Okay.
So
what do we have here?
So the Paralympic team, 10 of the 12 players faked their disability and deliberately failed their IQ test. So
come on now.
Yes, Jesus, yes, it's so bad.
Oh my God.
They won gold.
Oh my God.
They won gold in the intellectual disability category, right? But 10 of the
there should be a movie. There should be a movie about this.
It's so bad.
Honest to God, somebody needs to write the screenplay for this.
It's so bad.
That is the most despicable thing that for some reason doesn't even make me mad.
And look at how
those guys.
If we can see the photo,
bastards.
If we could see the photo full for a second. So 10 of the 12 lied about their intellectual disability. I'm going to argue that number 13 in front with his hands there, he's probably not one of the guys who lied, but I could be wrong.
Oh, come on. Tim, come on, man.
I don't know. But let's move on. Let's move on while I still...
He's the legit guy. Oh.
Whoa, speaking of legit...
You know what? You're going to hell and I'm fucking riding shotgun and playing songs on the radio. All right, Tim.
Speaking of
they're
legit,
only number 3 somehow.
No,
okay.
Speaking of legit, this may be controversial, Ricky, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put Leah Thomas as a cheater. I just don't. Now, maybe she used the rules that were available to her at the time, and maybe there was no obvious infraction of the rules. But I would say in the common sense world of rules, Leah Thomas is a cheater.
You got to know deep down, when you're standing on the platform, when Leah Thomas was standing on the platform, accepting the recognition for the performance that was just given, don't tell me that you don't know at a core level that what you did wasn't legitimate. So I'm going to agree with you. Just because something's not against the rules doesn't make it right.
Amen.
And you
brother.
have to know. That's the thing I don't understand is when we see something like this happen where somebody's setting records and you're setting records despite the fact that your balls are given an aerodynamic drag or whatever as you're going through the water. Okay.
Torpedo.
You're going to tell me that you feel great about that performance, that you feel like you really earned it.
Definitely
give me
not.
a break. It'd be like you or me going and competing against, it's like I've said before, give me my Easton aluminum bat and send me over to the local Little League and let me launch some balls into orbit off of 11 and 12-year-olds. And I can definitely do that, but am I going to feel good about it afterwards? Am I going to feel like, boy, I've really accomplished something worthwhile? Give me a break.
I'm with you, bro. Unless she completely erased her memory bank and forgot that, hey, I was the 213th ranked swimmer when I was on the male team. I'm with you. You've got to be standing there thinking,
ridiculous.
Right.
Ridiculous.
All right. So the last one for me,
take satisfaction in it is beyond me.
Right. Terrible. So the last one for me, I'm going to, the French skating judge from 2012. You remember that whole controversy? The French team pressured her to vote for the pairs. Sort of an honorable mention, but I'm going to leave it at this. A shout out to all the guys at the scoreboard crew and everywhere else in Seattle for pumping in all that fake crowd noise in Seattle for all those years, having been at a game for then Washington Redskins game, and it had long been a complaint for a while there. But pumping in crowd noise might not be high on your list of cheating offenses, but there's no doubt the 12th man is loud, but they're louder when they pump in artificial stuff. It definitely caused some issues with opponents and signal callers.